What's happening?
So, first of all, it's pretty fucking hot. We are in Mojave, and I don't know if you can read that. 104 degrees here in Mojave, California. We are heading to, we're on a 2-week road trip. And first stop is going to be Mammoth, a couple days of dispersed camping in Mammoth Lakes. Not in the lakes region, but in that area. Then we're hitting Lassen Volcanic National Park for 3 days. Then we're going to go look at some land in both Alturas, California, which is Northern California. And then we're going to jump across the border to Oregon and go look at land in Bonanza, and then hit Crater Lake, and then over to the coast of Oregon, and then back down the coast of California. So if you're interested in all that stuff, stick around for this episode of Cope Designs. We just passed one of the turnoffs, or we just passed a turnoff for Death Valley. Death Valley has the lowest points in all of the United States. I believe it's 262 feet below, and I didn't look this up, just going off memory, so I could be wrong. I believe it's 262 feet below sea level at Badwater Basin. Adjacent, or within, 50 miles of Death Valley, is Mount Whitney. Mount Whitney is the highest point, not in the United States because that's Mount Denali in Alaska, but the highest point in the lower 48. And I want to say Mount Whitney's 14,000 and change. And that's not Mount Whitney up there, but it's, up there somewhere. So, stupid fact for today. If you ever find yourself traveling on Highway 395, there's plenty to see. Shortly, we're going to be coming up on the Manzanar Relocation Center. So, just after the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor in December of 1941, in February of 1942, President Franklin Roosevelt, signed Executive Order 9066. And this order called for the rounding up and internment or imprisonment of Japanese Americans and people of Japanese ancestry who were living on the west coast of the United States. Washington, Oregon, California, and I believe parts of Arizona. And they were they were dispersed into 10 relocation centers is what they were referred to. Other people call them concentration camps. I've seen them referred to as prison camps as well. About 110,000 Japanese Americans were rounded up and placed in these camps. And the camps were mainly located in the western part of the country, although I believe there was one in Arkansas. Nevertheless, the internees were housed or imprisoned in these camps until the end of World War II, which was in 1945. A gentleman by the name of Fred Korematsu, an American citizen, filed a lawsuit against the United States government, claiming a violation of his constitutional rights. The Supreme Court heard that case, and Mr. Korematsu lost that case, and the Supreme Court deemed that Executive Order 9066 was a military necessity given the circumstances of war with the Japanese. To kind of summarize the whole thing, the Japanese were interned for a period of 3 years, and even Japanese men who were all fighting for the United States, their families were interned, and if they were released from the military, they themselves were interned until the duration of the war. President Clinton in the 1990s signed a bill awarding any internee, no matter what age, a redress of $25,000. Many people have deemed the internment of Japanese Americans as a black eye on the United States. We're taking a little evening stroll here along a single track dirt bike trail. It's about 7 o'clock. We're in the Mammoth Lakes region, and tomorrow we're heading for Parts Unknown. So we're gonna walk this for another 15-20 minutes, and I guess it's gonna be a mystery where we're gonna end up next. Okay, talk soon. And now my comrades are all gone. Naught remains to toast. They have left me here in my misery like some poor wandering ghost. I welcome you to the ghost town of Bodie. Bodie's heyday ran from 1877 to 1881. As a matter of fact, the guy who started the town was a guy by the name of W.S. Bodie, and he passed away shortly after gold was discovered in this area. He had initially came here after striking out in the Sierra Nevada. A lot of the buildings that you see here are only 5% of what existed back in the late 1800s. And as a matter of fact, the town at one point boosted a population of anywhere from 7,000 to 10,000. Let's take a look. What's this one?
Reddy House. It's somebody's private residency. R-E-D-D-Y house.
Okay.
47. Sawmill.
Good job.
Pretty
Pretty beat up.
beat up. But there's still some wood here. And I can start to fire this up.
Want to get some cutting going?
Yeah.
Like many of these old school mining towns, Bodie had its share of bars. I think the brochure said there was over 60 bars here in the small town of Bodie. And with bars goes prostitution. There was a little Chinatown here as well, and there was a lot of opium dens. And prostitution was part of the deal here in Bodie back in the late 1800s. The town of Bodie, as soon as the mining operations, or as soon as the gold mining operations kind of shut down, the town quickly decreased in population, and mining ceased altogether in 1942. The state of California now controls the state park, as it's known, and I would encourage anybody who's driving along the 395 to make a stop. It's a little ways to get out here. It's probably 10 miles on a paved road and another 3 miles on a dirt road. It's $8 a person to get in, but I think it's well worth the trip. We left Bodie a few hours ago and then came up through the Sonora Pass. I'm pretty stoked that we were able to find a pretty sweet camp spot for the next couple days. And here we are, we're in the Stanislaus National Forest, and we're along a river, and we'll show you more of the campsite a little bit later. We're gonna go for a little dip right now.
One more. It almost feels like ham. Too much salt because feta has salt. And then
All right, what do we got here?
ready-made breakfast in 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That's perfect for us. All right, we're gonna hop into this and enjoy.
Next stop, Lassen Volcanic National Park.
What do you think?
I love it. It's so unique. It's so different. I mean, it doesn't feel like US.
We're about to say goodbye to our Lassen Volcanic National Park dispersed site. So we stayed here the last couple nights. We came in on this road just right over here, and here was our camp spot for the night. So, you know, it was $25 a night at the campgrounds in Lassen, and they're full. So we just did a little adventuring, and we found this spot here. And the park is literally about 10 minutes away. So, I mean, you really can't beat this spot. After Lassen, it was back on the road. We had a couple stops to make before we made it into Crater Lake. The first was Alturas, California, and the second was Bonanza, Oregon. You may have heard the name Bonanza, Oregon. That's because it was near the bootleg fire, which was raging across southeastern Oregon. This footage you're seeing now is the spot that we camped out before making our way to Crater Lake. Again, another dispersed site, which we really like because nobody's around and there are no fees and there's plenty of privacy. This was about 15 to 20 miles away from that bootleg fire. We can smell some smoke, but we saw a lot of firefighters and Department of Forestry trucks heading towards the bootleg to do what they do to protect homes. The staging area was near where we were camped, and we actually saw a helicopter or two with the big scooper on there, scooping up water in a nearby lake and dumping it on the fire. As of this video, the bootleg was still raging in southeastern Oregon. How you feeling?
Good, good. The temperature is absolutely perfect. Now, not cold. What is more amazing is that going up on the mountain Scott.
Should be better as we get to the top. See you up there in a minute. Sunday, about 7 a.m. Still in Crater Lake National Park. Yesterday we walked to the highest point in the park. Today we're walking to the lake. Okay, here's my little polar bear. Just get ready to go into Crater Lake with her little suit on.
I'm not sure if I can.
She did it. There you go. Okay, it's official. She's in. We're almost at the top. How you feeling?
Good hike, feeling fresh. Definitely worth it.
So if you do this hike, going down is going down, but going up has its moments. Is it just an ass kicker the entire way? No. But there are some passages that are challenging. 67 flights of stairs is what the brochure says is the hike up is equivalent to. Okay, enjoy. See you at the beach.
and maybe rattlesnake. 1, 2, 3.
All right, so that was the San Benito County Historical Park and Village. Really cool place. We had lunch here. Good stop off if you're in the area. We paid our $3. Normally, we don't pay anything. This is Condor Gulch, part of the Pinnacles National Park. Condor in the house. Check it out. Ooh, it's getting close. Whoa! Whoa! If you've spent any time on the road in the US, then you realize it's a big country. We're heading back to LA now, putting the finishing touches on our 2-week tear up. There's Silvio. Gonna have a little bit of snack here and then continue on. 4 more hours on the road. We're just outside Coalinga, California on Highway 198 right now. And again, it's a big country. See you next time. I don't know if you can read that. 104 degrees here in Mojave, California. 104 degrees in Mojave, California.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, we got it. Yeah, it's fucking hot.
That's perfect. Tip for the day: when you're driving long distance and you start to feel your lower back and your butt, especially if you start to feel swamp butt happening, put the car on auto control, cruise control, and do this: lift, 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 lift. Then for your lower back, arch, kind of like cat and cow, go back. Arch, go back. Clap your hands and you are ready to go.